You picked out a couple of key players for both sides.
Yeah, so Palmer obviously came across from Coventry in the summer. A lot of money spent on him. I think Hull would want more from him from what he has in those forward areas. I think he looked really good during midweek, but you want to add goals to that and assists, and at the moment he's a bit languishing down, but he's a player I think can help turn their fortunes around because of his ability in those forward attacking areas. Yeah, Bassett, young Belgian player, 20 years of age. Coventry signed him in the summer. Starting to get a couple of back-to-back games for him. I'm sure he looked up on the goal sheet, but talented young player. And I think Lampard likes to have someone that he can work on in those forward areas, that he can build on. That's what he did when he was at Derby. And you feel like this is a player that could benefit from having him as a manager in behind him.
Ruben Sellés and Frank Lampard both have tough jobs in trying to turn the fortunes of these great clubs around. Out of the frying pan and into the fire for Ruben Sellés. Came across from Reading, had a tough situation off the field, but did so well to get the Royals into the playoff positions in League One. Now tasked with getting Hull City out of the relegation zone. This afternoon's official is Bobby Madley. Blake Antrobus and Jonathan Bickerdike are the two men with the flags. The fourth official is Sam Allison. Coventry and Hull were both playoff challengers when they last met. They find themselves in very different situations today. Things can change quickly, though, in the crazy world that is the Championship. It's an unseasonably warm afternoon here in the Midlands, and both sides will be looking for a fast start.
Yeah, you can Coventry at home. You'd expect them to get high up the pitch, press. Frank Lampard's game has been trying to get that high pressing energy into his sides. You see that from all the teams he's managed so far. Sellés as well is going to try and just get them set up, and he's not going to want to concede a goal early on. He's going to build himself into this game.
The ball ping-ponging about. Sakamoto unable to bring it under control. Rodoni also lets the ball bounce away from him, and Pandor sends it long. Here is Casey Palmer, who made the move to Hull City on deadline day from the Sky Blues in a move worth around £5 million. Has only found the net once in 16 appearances for the Tigers so far in the Championship. This is Louis Coyle, and that will be a foul as Kamara was taken down by Mason Clark.
Not much in that. Physical. Clark gets across, and maybe it's to catch a leg there as he initially leans in. You're thinking, not going to, but this is a good position for Hull to put in a dangerous cross. I like it from this low angle where you can kind of whip it in behind the defence.
Looking to make the most of an early set piece. And it will be Casey Palmer that will deliver the ball in from out wide. It's a decent delivery that was headed goalwards by Longman, and Collins was forced into the save, and the flag was up.
Yeah, Coventry having a really high line down, but that's the position. I do like that. It's a great area to just whip the ball in behind the defence. They just don't step out on time. And Longman's in an offside position. Actually, Longman gets the head, but they're in an offside position. They just haven't come out far enough. But Coventry brave with a really high line there.
Hull City seeing some good early possession. Of course, under Tim Volter, it was a possession-based style of play, but they did take a lot of risks under the German as the ball is aimed forward. Too much on it for Regan Slater, and it's picked up by Bradley Collins. And I think Ruben Sellés will be taking a slightly different approach from the German.
Yeah, I think he is. You can see the way he's trying to play penetrative football, get the ball up there early. Palmer, even then, straight away gets his head up and tries to find that pass in between the lines where a runner from midfield. You want to attack teams, you want to get after them. It's all well good having possession, but if you have no final product, which I think they're lacking a little bit, you want to have something at the end of it.
Yeah, he said his challenge is to try and simplify things at Hull City. Free kick given the way of Coventry, that is taken quickly. Bradley Collins, who is back in the side under Frank Lampard, did lose his place at the start of the season, but was the #1 for most of last season. Torp. Sakamoto. Torp again. Hull City were 3-2 winners in the meeting here towards the end of last season. As Collins takes a chance, and it's a poor clearance. He's given it straight to Regan Slater. Well, Hull City failed to make the most of that opening.
Yeah, it's poor from the goalkeeper. He's not aware. I think it's Longman's behind him, and he takes his first touch, looks up casually as if he's got loads of time, but then senses the pressure and luckily clears his lines. But it's a really poor clearance. Hull just couldn't capitalise on it.
De Silva with the throw. Sheaf. Thomas. Van Ewijk. Coventry City's turn to enjoy some possession. De Silva. Coyle picks it up for Hull. Here's Hughes.
Hull have started well. They've actually, the shape about them's been really good, and they've pressed quite high up, but not allowed Coventry to try and pick any passes out the back. They've forced them into playing longer balls, and Bissett wasn't in a good position to try and win that or cause a problem from them.
Longman allows the ball to go out of play off of him. Here's Louis Binks, the Tottenham Academy graduate. Van Ewijk. It's really quiet inside the stadium. It's very noticeable. Coventry need to give their fans something to shout about.
Yeah, it's been pretty pedestrian, has it? There's not been loads of tempo to it, but you feel as soon as they get into the half, the fans get excited and they want to see something from them.
Torp finds Sakamoto. On the overlap is Van Ewijk, and well, that was the best move from a Coventry City perspective of the half, and it produces a corner.
Yeah, good play down the right-hand side. Sakamoto just comes in, first touch, back on the out-hand side, reverse ball into him, and he tries to pick the pass down the middle, and he just can't squeeze it through that gap there. Gets knocked out for a corner. Redoni had picked up a really good position in the middle.
Well, Bobby Madley has just had a word with a couple of players, Binks and Thomas involved. As the cross is put in, it's towards Thomas, and the shot from De Silva was blocked. And then the free kick given the way of Hull. this was the chance from that move down the right, and it fell to Victor Torp, whose shot was deflected over the bar.
Yeah, Coventry, this is the first time they've kind of really got onto the Hull's half of the pitch, but they move the ball. Van Ivek, a really good overlap on the right hand side and pulls it back in the good area, drops the Torp, and he just, as he comes onto it, he just snatches at the shot reel. I think it was actually going wide, but the build-up play was really good, and the idea to find the middle of the pass in the middle of the park for Rodoni, which was on, just gets cut out, so, and then Torp was following it in.
2 goals this season so far for Victor Torp. Scored against Coventry, against Cardiff rather, and Luton. Taking a lot of time before throwing the ball to Pedro, and they lose possession but recycle it. Hull, and here is Coyle, the captain. Forward to Kamara. Coyle on the overlap. The cross is cut out at the edge of the 6-yard box.
Again, similar build-up to the chance that Coventry created. Overlap on the right-hand side, and Vert, the winger, reverses pass, but the cross is lacking a little bit, hits the first man from Coyle.
Has been an ever-present for Hull City in the Championship this season, Louis Coyle. Real, honest professional. Throw into Pedro. It's found its way through to Slater, who played it across, but Collins is able to gather. Maybe should have done better in that position, Regan Slater.
Yeah, falls to him in a really good position. Coventry don't clear their lines properly, and he ends up in the box, and he just tries to stand up over the goalkeeper's head and just dinks it into his hands. Again, better connection, better cross would give them a real good chance of getting a shot on target.
Both teams using the ball well out wide in the early stages. Mason Clark does well to get the better of Coyle. He's got support in the middle with Bassett calling for the cross, but it was turned behind by Charlie Hughes, and it will be another Coventry corner.
Yeah, good turn. Mason Clark shows great pace, skill, and then gets in and gets his head up as well. He's just trying to feed it into that area, and Hughes slides across and puts it out for a corner, but they put in a decent set play last time.
It's taken short to Rodoni, who sends the cross in, and it's headed on target, but straight at Pandore.
Again, really good cross, and I like the little short corner, just a little touch to shift the position of it, because it makes it defenders, and then you're whipping the ball back into the space. Coyle can't get onto it, and it's a decent header. Comfortable save for the goalkeeper in the end, but I like the corner.
Binks getting power on his header, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. This is usually a happy hunting ground for Hull City. They've won 4 of their last 5 league trips to Coventry. The other was a draw. Here's Mason Clark. Gets the ball into Bassett, and again, Coventry win another corner.
It's great build-up play from Coventry from the back. Worker all the way out to Sacramento, then finds it as way out to Clark, who, as he goes in here, I'm thinking, take the shot on your on your right foot. Coyle hasn't got close to you, but he reverses the ball into Bassett, who wins the corner.
Yeah, did the best he could from that position, Norman Bassett. It's taken short again. Now Torp with the cross. It's kept alive by Thomas. Sakamoto. Kamara heads it clear for Hall, and Longman sends it further forward. Here is Pedro. Signed on a free transfer in September. João Pedro has spent most of his career with Calgary, 8 years with the Italian club.
Slight change in areas there, and go from Calgary to Hull for Pedro.
Here, actually, his last club was Grêmio in Brazil. Here's Coyle. Allowed to run into a central position, Pedro. And Palmer was offside, I think, as the ball was played forward.
Wasn't a great touch from Pedro in the corner, but again, as it comes into him here, he plays the first time, but the run from Palmer had dragged the fullback away, so he could have actually gone back inside with it. Just takes it too early. See, now that's when the option is Ivic is making the run because he sees Palmer, and then Palmer brings him down, which is, again, there's not much in that.
That was the free kick given for the foul, not the flag. Not sure what he'll make of the opening quarter of an hour from his side. They've got into some decent attacking areas. Sheaf gets the ball to Mason Clark. Decent cross, and Bissett got his head to it, but he wasn't able to direct the header on target.
Yeah, it's excellent again from Clark. Comes out to him. Coyle is a little bit reluctant to go to him after he spun him with the pace he showed earlier on. He's kind of backing off a bit, so allows his winger to come down. He just shifts onto his left foot, whips into a really good area. Bissett gets across his man, but it's difficult to try and redirect that on goal, but it's good play from Coventry.
Efred Mason Clark said that he is enjoying the clear, simple messaging from Frank Lampard since his appointment at the club. Summer signing from Peterborough. Sakamoto. Oh, it was close to Bissett, and it had to be put behind by Hughes. Hull City this time guilty of giving possession away in a dangerous area.
Yeah, a little slip here where Sakamoto gets his head up and just tries to whip it in as quick as he can. Bissett is going near post. Mason Clark is coming in behind as well, so it was an important clearance from Hughes.
And the corner count racking up for Coventry. Most of the deliveries into the box have been decent. And it's an awkward one for Pandor, who just about deals with it. Had some help from Palmer. Slater. Now Palmer. And possession given away very cheaply once again. Thomas. On the sprint forward is Rodoni. Sakamoto. Still Sakamoto. Oh, went for goal. And maybe that was the wrong option because there were players in the box, particularly Victor Torp, who was in tons of space at the back post.
He was. Sakamoto, one-on-one, just drops a shoulder, comes back inside. The space opens up for him, and you can see he gets an eye at goal, so he's thinking he's on a strong left foot. He's going to take this on, but he's worked the opportunity really well himself. Torp is probably in a better position to try and capitalise on it. He drags the shot. Coventry are looking dangerous.
They have their tails up at the moment, the hosts.
Hull being a bit wasteful in possession as well, giving the ball away cheaply.
Here's Rodoni, able to turn. Finds De Silva. Goes further wide to Mason Clark. It's a decent ball in, and it was taken off of Sakamoto by Rodoni. Surely he didn't get a call.
Rodoni's, he can't get up in time to get the header on, but Sakamoto was right behind him, and it's hard in those situations to say leave it and not expect him to try and head it. You're 3 yards away from goal, you get something on it, it could end up in the back of the net.
Top to Sakamoto. Now Ben Sheaf finds Mason Clark, and here is Rodoni. Pandora is behind the shot, but Coventry City turning the screw.
Yeah, you can see Coventry are just feeding the ball out to Mason Clark and Sakamoto as often as they can. This time Rodoni just drags this in wide, doesn't really test the goalkeeper that much in Pandora. But this is it. He just stands it up into such a good position. Sakamoto is right there to head that in, but Rodoni doesn't know, doesn't hear him, and like I said, the chances of him leaving that in that situation are probably slim.
Well, they just need to try and take the sting out of things at the moment, Hull City, because they are under pressure. Hughes. Sends it long, and it's well brought down by Longman. Palmer. Alzate. Palmer. Again, possession just gifted back to Coventry, and the passing from Hull City needs to be more precise.
Yeah, Palmer on a couple of occasions just cheaply given away, and sometimes when you come back to a ground that you've had success in, it can be difficult, it can get you a little bit, and he just seems not as clinical and not, as accurate as he normally is.
Subconsciously thinks he's still in a sky blue shirt. De Silva plays it out for the throw. Binks just about gets it back to his goalkeeper Collins, and it's well played out. Rodoni finds the runner Bassett. McLaughlin makes the block. Here's Sheaf. Again, it's a decent ball, just over the head of Sakamoto. Van Eyck kept it alive. Here's Binks. De Silva. Binks again. Van Eyck. Lovely skill. Now that's a decent delivery, headed away well by Hughes. And the foul conceded at the edge of the box by Ben Sheaf.
Yeah. Fans are happy with that. Seems a little bit easy, but Coventry in the wide areas are putting in some wonderful crosses. This one here, Van Eyck just drifts into a great area. Hughes reads it, gets in and clears his lines really well, but such tempting crosses into great areas. Now they just need to get the contact, get someone on the end of them.
Well, Ben Sheaf, the Coventry City captain, playing under one of his boyhood idols now in Frank Lampard. He's enjoying the new ideas that the new manager has brought to Coventry.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find many players in the Championship that Frank Lampard is not their idol.
Particularly if you play that midfield role.
Exactly, yeah.
But Ben Sheaf, one of the best midfielders in the Championship, has been linked on numerous occasions with a move to the Premier League. In fact, Manchester United were linked with him in the summer.
Yeah, he keeps it moving really well, doesn't he? Does it simple, but then he's not afraid to put a tackle in when needs be. Just an all-round midfielder.
Well, after a little bit of treatment, Ivo Pandor, the goalkeeper, is okay. And that little stoppage has just allowed Hull City to take the sting out of the game.
This, honestly, how often do we see this now, Joe? It's actually unbelievable. It's like you can just set your clock by it. Between 20 and 25 minutes, the keeper will go down in possession of the ball. Both teams will go have a drink, have a chat, and then go back on.
Yeah, it's a real pet peeve of mine. Yeah. I wish they'd do something about it. Of course, if it's an injury and treatment is needed, then there's not a lot that the officials can do. But yeah, you see it so often that a goalkeeper will go down just when their team is under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Or yeah, it's always the way. They get in, get back together. Manager can get his thoughts across. They all go across for a water break and they come back out. But it does stifle the tempo of the game, especially if you're Coventry now. You're thinking they've just slowed it down for us when we're starting to build momentum.
McLaughlin. Well, you can see that Coventry have had all of the shots in this game so far. Pandor has been forced into a couple of saves. Thomas sends it long. It's over the head of Bassett. Slater brings it down well and gets the return pass. Taught with the challenge. Picked up by Alzate for Hull. Under pressure from Rodoni. And it was good pressing from Coventry.
He should have thrown a quick there down the line. Bassett was in such a good position in behind. There was two Hull players out. If he just gets his head up and into the space behind him.
Well, Frank Lampard saw it because he was playing ball boy.
Yeah, it's one of those, a fullback, you just get your head up, or even if you're the winger or the centre midfielder who's going to take it, you just throw it into the space down the line where Bassett can't be offside.
De Silva. Binks. Thomas. Bassett is offside.
Let's go past that.
That's a decent ball to find Kamara. De Silva stops Kamara in his tracks, but he retrieves it and plays the 1-2 with Coyle. Hughes wants someone to make a move in front of him, and in the end it's a pass to no one, and De Silva collects for Coventry.
It was so static, but there was no need to force it then. You don't need to try and play that pass between the lines if no one has moved you. No one's coming and putting pressure on you.
Here's Pedro. The ball was watched well by Van Eyck. Van Eyck. Collins. De Silva. Now Rodoni. Works well between the two. And here's Mason Clark. Rodoni again. This time too clever for his own good. But they've recycled possession well, Coventry. Rodoni into the feet of Mason Clark, whose shot is into the side netting.
Yeah, good play from Coventry on the left-hand side. The setback goes on though, I feel. Good ball in from Rodoni, and you see Thorpe just screaming for a little layoff. He has the whole goal to aim at. Instead, Mason Clark goes himself and pulls it wide.
Another shot off target for Coventry City. They have had more shots off target than anyone else in the Championship. It was 112 going into this game.
Thing is, it just shows the intent. They're trying it. They're getting into good areas. They're pulling the trigger. They're not afraid. It's just that time you just take a little bit more care. Is there someone in a better position to you? Like Mason Clark, great turn, pulls the trigger, but Thorpe is in such a good position just to lay it off from and come on and hit that.
Here's Sheaf. Worked back to De Silva. Possession held on to well by Thorpe. Van Eyck. Now Sakamoto. Retaining possession comfortably, Coventry, and working the ball across the field. Waiting for the right moment to make that penetrative pass. De Silva. Mason Clark. Very patient play this. Sheaf. Van Eyck does well. Sheaf.
Left-hand side.
And Rodoni is picked out. Coyle with a strong but fair challenge, and it was good defending in the end by Hull City. They held their shape well.
Yeah. Coventry moving the ball around, just trying to drag them out, but they didn't. And then when they get the ball out to the wide area, Rodoni, just a big touch, allows Coyle to just sense opportunity and goes in with the big tackle. But that's where the space was. They played the ball out quickly to him. His first touch lets him down, and then it lets Hull off the hook.
One of the things that Jack Rodoni spoke about was the team needing to do better out of possession, and they certainly are doing that this afternoon, as a yellow card is shown to Ivor Pandor for time wasting. Might not have been the goalkeeper who the card was shown to. We'll confirm that in a moment. There we go, confirmation. It is Pandor who has been shown a yellow card.
It's funny, it didn't seem like he'd taken that long, so I wonder if the ref was conscious because of the previous that we spoke about, the stoppage.
Only one clean sheet this season for Ivor Pandor, who moved to Hull from Fortuna Dusseldorf in January. This is his first season as the number one. It will be a Coventry free kick. And that was something that Frank Lampard identified as well, the way that Coventry work out of possession, and they seem to be winning possession back pretty quickly so far this afternoon. Bissett was just offside.
A couple of times now he's just gone, this is young players, 20 of age, but that's a party game. You have to, like, he's quick, he's strong, he's a willing runner, but you have to look along that line, bend that run around, because you're just letting them off the hook every time you give an offside.
Has all the attributes to be a really good Championship striker, Norman Bissett, but he is very raw. Sakamoto. Sheaf. Van Ewijk. Now the cross is put in and it is deflected behind. Another chance for Coventry from a corner.
Yes, they're not afraid, and it's Coventry when they get into a wide area, they don't think about it. Just they get the head down, they put that ball in. The movement in the box could be slightly better though.
Rodoni again to deliver. Pandor half clears. De Silva unable to bring it down. And the free kick given against Jay De Silva. And Coventry just won possession back in a really good possession, but Bobby Madley has said the free kick needs to be taken again because it wasn't in the correct position. And they got away with that, Hull City.
Yeah, they did. The ball bounced to Clark as well. He was just inside the box.
Good slide challenge by Casey Palmer. But again, they're not able to hold on to the ball, Hull City. I've
liked the fullback, De Silva and Van Eyck have just been ready to jump as soon as the Hull fullbacks have passed it forward. They've got in front of their wingers. They've won the ball back early. They're leading the line really well, gaining back possession.
You look at the possession stats and Coventry dominating so far, and that will be a foul as Bissett was brought down despite the protests.
Yeah, I think if he had a go on him with shoulder, but the fact he comes off with his leg in the air probably led to the ref or the linesman getting the flag up.
Yeah, I don't think Hughes can have any complaints. And more defending to be done for Hull City. It's been the story of the first half after a bright opening 5 minutes from the visitors. Since then, it has been all Coventry. But it remains goalless. Can Coventry make the pressure pay? It's a dangerous ball in, and it's touched over Sheaf's header, forcing the save from Pandor.
Yeah, it's a great cross in again. The delivery's been brilliant, this time from a set play. The really good area. Whipped in, loads of pace on it. Sheaf gets up well. It comes off the back of Coyle, I think, and takes the power off the head and then just loops up. And Pandor gets a hand on it.
Yet to score this season, Ben Sheaf. Came close there. This time it's a good defensive header by Hughes. And as the ball was put back in, I think if it hadn't have been gathered by Pandor, Mason Clark was in a offside position.
Coventry are just proper in control now, aren't they? And I think if you're a Coventry City fan, there would be a lot of expectation to go and win this game. You're at home against the worst team in the league currently, and I think you're a much better side than them. But you have to go and prove that and put the ball in the back of the net. And these missed opportunities, missed shots, you don't want to rue them.
Well, they are without a win in 3 home league games. This was the header from Ben Sheaf that forced the save from Pandor.
Yeah, great ball in by Thorpe. Coyle just gets out to it enough, and as Sheaf heads it, I think it comes off the back or the flex off Thorpe, off Coyle. Actually, no, it comes off the shoulder of Sheaf and then loops up.
Again, possession won high up the field by Coventry and Sakamoto. It's worked inside to Sheev, who just ran into the challenge. It's been hard work for the Hull City players who have been chasing the ball. Now Alzate picks up possession, finds Kamara, who gets his shot away, and Collins had to be alert.
Yeah, simple, just a little knock over the top. De Silva is trying to get across from the left-back position. Does enough just to put him off and force him wider, so that he can't really get great connection on the shot.
Sakamoto. Giles halts play momentarily. And then it's won back well by Longman. But again, Coventry win it back so quickly.
It's brilliant work from Sheev to win it back.
Here's Rodoni. Mason Clark stopped by Coyle, but he retains possession. Now De Silva. Rodoni. Back to De Silva. In towards Bassett. Headed away by Hughes. Again, it's one back. Sheev, who tries an ambitious one, and it's a long way off target.
Yeah, speculative from there. It wasn't even a proper hit. He just tries to lift it into the corner. But Coventry have regained possession so quickly, so high up the pitch. But those last little moments, the crosses in and being decent, just that final connection on it. Here again, look at fullbacks out pressing.
Sakamoto aims it forward. Coyle did find himself battling with Mason Clark, and there were shouts for a foul, but the ball didn't make it their way, and then Torp concedes the free kick. Coyle. Kamara ahead of him. And that's where the ball goes. Kamara's low cross. Easily dealt with by Torp. Sakamoto in support. And we'll just reset with Van Ewijk. Now Sheep. Sakamoto. Touched off the head of Alzate. Van Ewijk. Decent delivery, and it's a decent defensive header by Coyle. It's back into Mason Clark, who did push over the defender in front of him before he headed it on target.
Yeah, it's two hands on the back of Coyle there before he gets the header on target. But again, it's another great ball in. Coyle clears it initially, headed back in by Thorpe, and Clark just gives the foul out, but it was the initial cross. He had two hands on his back.
Yeah, we saw it clearly from the commentary box. Yeah. You'd hope the officials saw it, and Efron Mason Clark has been shown a yellow card for complaining about that foul.
There's not really much you can complain about. It's a foul. Disappointed though, the cross in earlier for Coventry, Mason Clark, he's in a real good position, and he has a run on Coyle, but he allows Coyle to go win it without really putting any pressure on him.
Chance for a foray forward for Hull. Here is Kamara. Coyle in support. Kamara again. Kamara's cross, and it's off the post and then put in on the rebound by João Pedro. And Hull City, against the run of play, take the lead. Longman's header off the woodwork, and it fell so kindly to João Pedro, who puts the Tigers in front.
It's great play, absolutely wonderful play on the right-hand side from Kamara. Just to work the crossing opportunity with his good feet. Whips in is such a dangerous ball. Longman off the post, and then Pedro's there. But that's what I spoke about. Coventry, for all the possession, for all the crosses, for all the chances. It's such a fine line, and now they find themselves behind. Here he is. Just works it. De Silva could probably get a bit closer, and this time here when the touch comes back to, maybe you could clear your lines, but this chop drifts it into such a good position. Longman's in behind, and Pedro's there just to tap it in off the fortunate ricochet off the post.
A cool finish from Pedro as the ball bounced back out to him. Made no mistake in finding the back of the net, and well, for all the possession and all of the chances Coventry City have had, they find themselves behind. And Ruben Selles will go in at half-time thinking, how on earth are my team in front, I'm sure.
Van Ewijk just loses Longman behind him as well. That cross, he doesn't really know where he is. And to be fair, if Pedro hadn't have scored, Longman would be absolutely kicking himself that he did knock that in straight away with the header that comes off the post. But there we are, Coventry behind after being so dominant and looking so dangerous.
Well, scored against the West Brom Pedro, 2-2 for him. Third goal of the campaign for the Italian international. A minimum of 4 to be played at the end of this first half. It's a real test of Coventry City, who have been knocking at the door, but they haven't managed to break it open. Cleared away by Slater.
Like, it's only going to be 4 games in Lampard's tenure, but to say there'd be maybe pressure on the back of this game, Coventry they have aspirations to be in the playoffs, not be fighting relegation, and to be 1-0 down at home against, like I said, the worst team in the league at the moment. It's not looking well.
They have some crucial fixtures coming up, including this one. They have Portsmouth and Plymouth on the horizon as well. It's aimed towards Mason Clark. Coyle just about does enough. Here's De Silva. Now Sheaf. Jay De Silva. Sheaf. And the touch by Tor had too much on it. And Hull City will, I'm sure, just hope to get through to the break with this 1-0 lead intact.
Yeah, I said they've rode their luck at times, Hull, without Coventry creating any clear-cut chances. They just had good possession and some dangerous crosses in, good set plays. But Hull find themselves 1-0 up front by, what was it, really good bit of play of their own.
Sheaf. That's a decent ball to pick out the run of Sakamoto. Being held up by Giles. Van Ewijk. It's easily cleared the cross by Alzate.
Again, really good position. Poor cross this time from Ewijk.
Goes back towards Van Ewijk, who this time can't keep it in play. Well, they have now conceded 33 home league goals in 2024, Coventry City. Their most since 2015. And their average goals conceded per game on home soil this year is their worst since their first year in the English Football League back in 1919. That's been the issue for the Sky Blues. Pedro shown a yellow card. And there was an arm out as he made the challenge with Louis Binks. I'm not sure he knew the defender was right behind him.
No, I think Binks has gone there. Listen, he's caught him, but João Pedro's just trying to get his arm across him, stop him coming through on that header.
It wasn't one of those where he sighted the man coming towards him and then there was no power in the elbow.
Yeah, Binks is fine. He went, he went down quite easy, but yeah, it was just getting your arm out, trying to keep him at bay.
You can hear the frustration around the CBS Arena. For all the good football that Coventry City had played, they are behind at the break. A rare attack and a rare piece of quality from Hull City. Saw Kamara's cross headed against the post by Ryan Longman, and João Pedro was there to pick up the pieces and slot home. It means that Hull City, despite being dominated in the possession stats and shots on goal stats, have an unlikely lead at the break. Half-time here at the CBS Arena. It is Coventry City 0, Hull City 1, who would be replaced. We'll just wait the confirmation of the half-time change, and Hull City about to come back out onto the field as a group. I wonder what Ruben Sellers would have said to his team during the half-time interval, because they had the lead, but they had been dominated for the most part.
The manager's going to say you need to be more clinical, you need to be a bit more. Actually, the change is happening for Hull, I think.
Yeah, it does look as if Hull. I wonder if we might see a change from both sides. Did see one of the Coventry officials speaking with Sam Allison. There's João Pedro, who gave Hull City that lead at half-time. And Mason Burstow is the player that is coming on for Hull City. The Chelsea loanee. He spoke about how difficult his relationship was with Tim Volter. Didn't have a great time playing under the former coach, but he scored in the first game after his departure. That's so often the case when a player has a difficult relationship with a manager.
Yeah, and it's the player with assist that looks like he's gone off. I think looks like Kamara's gone, which would be disappointing because he has looked dangerous in possession, but at the moment in the game he was down stretching and feeling something, so I wonder if that's a forced change from Sellers.
Yeah, so that's the change at the break. Abu Kamara, who set up the header that Longman put against the post, and then it came out to João Pedro, who scored the goal, replaced by Burstow. No changes made at half-time for Coventry City, despite us speculating. But plenty of options for Frank Lampard at his disposal if and when he goes to his subs bench, and the ball is played back to Pandore.
You would think Frank Lampard's going to want his team to play similarly to did in the first half. Just, you know, when those crosses, remember putting the ball in the box, can people get in there? Can you get the first contact? Can you test this goalkeeper? Because he's not really being tested in this game. A couple of tame efforts. That's better from Clark. Again, win the ball high up the pitch.
Mason Clark wins it off of Coyle and then gets the better of the Hull captain. And he runs into the challenge of Hughes. but trying to start on the front foot, Coventry City. And Mason Clark wins the corner.
Yeah, Cole getting caught in possession. And then Clark, as he drives into the box here, just touch gets away when he uses in a good position just to put it wide.
More pushing and shoving in the 6-yard box that Bobby Madley wants to talk to players about. Now the corner is put in, and it was towards Thomas, and there's a clash of heads. McLaughlin has come off worse, and play has been stopped.
Yeah, again, it's decent delivery from Coventry in, but clash of heads. It's good defending though. Gets up, wins the ball, and then McLaughlin just comes into the back of him.
Yeah, both challenging for the ball, but a painful one when that happens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, McLaughlin's, he's got his eye directly on it. It's a really good header because the ball's in a dangerous position.
Ruben Sellers taking this stoppage as an opportunity to talk to his captain. Well, this might take a while because all of the right protocols need to be done when there's a clash of heads like that. McLaughlin looks as if he's going to be okay. Well, food for thought for Frank Lampard. Their points tally of 21, their lowest at this stage of a campaign in 8 seasons. That's the reason that the decision was made to depart with Mark Robbins. Well, Pedro's screaming for it in the box, but Burstow wasn't able to pick him out. Big chance for Hall on the break, winning the ball high up the field, and just needed a better quality cross there from Burstow.
You know what? The cross itself, it's in such a dangerous area, and it's almost, he was saying, Pedro, get in there, get on the end of this, because it's when it's between the defenders and that goalkeeper, that corridor of uncertainty that you talk about, it's so hard to defend against. But you need someone flying in onto it.
Here's Longman. Giles on the overlap. Instead, he goes central, and Slater unable to pick out a man with the cross, just got it stuck under his feet a little bit. Well, they started the first half brightly, Hull, and then Coventry took control. They've shown a bit of attacking intent in the early stages of the second half. But that shot statistic shows how dominant Coventry have been, but only 3 on target. And it is all about quality in the final third for the Sky Blues in this second half.
That's a ball.
That's a great ball in by Torp, and Mason Clark is there, and they have the equaliser. A painful one at the back post, but he's put the ball into the back of the net, and when he comes around, that's all he'll care about. Efron Mason Clark putting the Sky Blues back on level terms right at the start of this second half.
What a ball this is from Thorpe. Absolutely sensational. Similar area to the ball in the first half that Hull got their goal from. But this pass in here turns and he just whips it in. Amazing position. Major Coyle should probably do better positioning, trying to clear. I think he stoops down below it, but the quality of the cross, Mason Clark getting in. Coyle would be disappointed that he doesn't get something on that to clear his lines. But the ball in is brilliant. Absolutely sensational. Just skips up. And Clark is there to get it home, however, by any means necessary as it comes off his chest, I think.
Yeah, off the chest of Ephron Mason Clark. He won't care as long as the ball ended up in the back of the net, and it did. And just the start to this second half that Frank Lampard and Coventry City would have been hoping for. After all their dominance, they've finally made a chance pay.
We talked about, we said, Joe, how often they put really good delivery into the box, but no one's gotten the end of it. This is here. Coyle misses it. You know what it is? I know from the way he's running back towards being in the fullback and probably been in that situation before, he's going back towards his own goal and he thinks, I don't want to head this back into my own goal. So he doesn't want to get clean contact and he wants to almost scoop it away from himself, and he mistimes it. And then, fortunately enough, Clark is there just with the presence to tap it in.
Such a dangerous ball into the box that was so difficult to deal with. Here's Sakamoto. Van Eyck. Chiefs' ball is blocked. Thomas.
It'd be interesting to see what Hull do now, because I think they set off Coventry in the first half.
Well, here's João Pedro. Chance could be on here, and the step over got the better of Louis Binks. And the free kick given to Hull in a decent position. It was a nice trick from the striker, and Binks just took his man out.
Yeah, Binks, it's almost a lazy attempt to tackle, just dangle his leg out.
A yellow card shown for that foul to Louis Binks, 5th yellow card of the campaign. And Casey Palmer, against his former club, looks as if he's shaping to strike this. It's Palmer, and it's off target.
Yeah, it's a long way out. It want to be one hell of a free kick if that was going to cause the goalkeeper problems from there. He's been really quiet this game. We pulled him up before the match as potentially being able to have an impact and going back to his last club, but he's been quiet, really has been throughout this game, hasn't had an influence on it.
Sakamoto wins possession and then gets the ball forward to Bissett. Still Bissett, who tries to get the cross in. It's deflected into the arms of Pandor. I think Louis Binks will miss out on a suspension because it is up to game week 19 for the EFL. That 5 yellow cards brings an automatic suspension.
It's always interesting when that timeline was coming around and people were on 4 yellow cards just before Christmas.
It's a good ball to pick out Longman. Now Giles. Longman again. He crosses a decent one, and Burstow's header wide of the target. Another good ball in from out wide, and we've seen some decent crosses from Hull City when they've had the opportunity.
It's a good cross in. Longman this time burst out. He has two hands on the Silva's back, so I'm surprised the ref didn't blow that. And then he puts his header off target, but there's just a little nudge, smallest of nudge, so the Silva gets caught underneath it.
Hughes forced to put the ball behind as he was running backwards. And it's a Coventry corner. Rodoni to take. Cleared away at the front post. Sakamoto collects. He's headed down towards Mason Clark. It's cleared away by McLaughlin. And a double change on the way for Hull City. So Casey Palmer's return to Coventry City comes to an end in the 58th minute. Marvin Malem coming on to replace Palmer. And Ryan Giles, also formerly of this parish, replaced by Matty Jacob.
Yeah, I think Palmer was probably the right one to go. He's had done very little in the game, not had an impact on it, and just not being able to get into it. And then on the times he's not been in possession of the ball, which Hull haven't had much at all, he's given away a bit cheaply. So I know sometimes going back to your old club, especially a place where you had success, can get the better of you.
Just a second championship appearance of the campaign for Matty Jacob. Binks. De Silva. Coventry still seeing a lot more of the ball than their opponents. Worked well into the path of Torp, who finds Sheaf at the edge of the box. Here's Rodoni! His shot is blocked well. Good defending by Hull City. They got bodies around Rodoni.
Excellent patient build-up play from Coventry. We talk about teams keeping possession, and is it just for the sake of it, or is it actually trying to create a space? And that's what they did. They created a space. Torp made the run in behind, worked it well.
Van Eyck. His crosses headed away, and Coventry will come again. Rodoni wins it back. Here's Sakamoto. Van Eyck. Low cross cleared away by McLaughlin. And that's strong play and fair play, the referee says, by Longman. And Longman calling for the return ball. It's brilliant control. Here's Ryan Longman. Good save by Collins. But it was a move that was started and almost finished by Ryan Longman.
Yeah, wonderful play from Longman, start to finish. Wins the ball back. Sakamoto gives away really too cheaply. Ball over the top from Burstow into him. His first touch is wonderful here to bring it down. Then he gets back inside, whips it. Can you test the goalkeeper? Yes, he can. Really good effort. And it bounces just before the keeper gets to it. Makes it even more difficult. So he has to push that wide, just wide of the post.
Yet to score this season, Ryan Longman. In the Championship, came close. But Collins made a good save. The corner is handed away by Torp. Malem. Put back into the box. Handed away by Thomas. Alzate. Now Slater tries one from range, and it was always heading off target.
Yeah, it's a long, long way out. Touch takes him into space, just opens up for him. He fancies his chances, but again pulls it wide.
Would have had to have been something spectacular to score from that sort of distance. Well, that will be a foul, and you'd think a possible booking, because that was a cynical challenge from Charlie Hughes, and it is a yellow card.
It's better moving from Bissett's this time. He doesn't go offside and just kind of spins into the channel, ball down the line from De Silva. Hughes knows he's beaten, so he just takes him out.
No complaints on that occasion from Charlie Hughes. Cross is headed clear, but collected by Sakamoto. Van Heewijk under pressure, gives it back to Collins. Well by Rodoni, and Bissett unable to get hold of the ball. Rodoni. De Silva loses out to Burstow. Alzate, a slip, and he's given possession away. And now here's Bissett, who is brought down the end of the box by Charlie Hughes, and Bobby Madley points to the penalty spot. A rash challenge, and the referee gives the penalty kick.
He's just been booked as well, Hughes. But you know what? I thought he took the touch too big when it comes into a first. Great break as that gets caught in possession again. A really good run with both players in the same channel. Bissett takes the touch, gets it away from him, and Hughes has gone flying in. Nowhere near. Bissett just takes that little touch away in his left foot and he goes through him. It's a definite penalty, no question whatsoever.
Yeah, you won't see a clearer penalty kick this weekend. And Coventry City, who have had one penalty in the Championship this season, it was scored by Victor Torp, have the chance to turn this game around. It's saved by Pandor, and Torp misses from the spot. A brilliant save, down low to his left, and Torp has his head in his hands.
The keeper just reads it. It's low, it's hard, it's not right in the corner. But Pandor gets down, really good left hand, but then it's the reaction as well. Sacramento's flying in, he gets up, two hands, and Torp, it's not a bad penalty, but it's not a great one either. It gives the goalkeeper a real good opportunity to save, and luckily he goes the right way and gets a good strong hand to it.
And our Hull City lucky to have 11 men still on the field, because Charlie Hughes wasn't shown a second yellow card for that challenge that gave away the penalty.
Yeah, I'm kind of perplexed why he wasn't booked for, because anywhere else on the pitch, that's a yellow card. It's a clear booking. Here's the penalty again. Thorpe, does he telegraph this slightly? Keeper goes the right way. It's a great save, great reaction to get up and take it back into his hand. Brilliant from him. Sacramento was the first one in, but Thorpe disappointed.
The celebrations coming from the Hull City bench, and Frank Lampard with that stern look on his face. Here's Burstow at the other end for Hull City. Burstow shots! Collins with a big save. Down low to his right, just tipping it behind.
Tell you what, Joe, what an effort this is. Few little step overs, chops inside the Silva, and then outside of his right boot just tries to bend this into the far corner. Collins had to get everything on this to keep this away. It's a wonderful effort on goal. It's a great save from the goalkeeper.
This game has suddenly opened up and turned into a bit of a spectacle. Both sides desperate for the victory. The corner is half cleared. Burstow felt he was fouled. Maitland's header. And that was a high boot by Bissett. And he'll be lucky to avoid a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a very high boot from Bissett. He's watching the ball, he's trying to bring it down, and then Jacob just comes in. I don't think he's caught him that much.
As predicted, the yellow card shown to Norman Bissett. Another one who moves on to 5 yellow cards as Hull City go to their bench again. And Steven Alzate is replaced by Gustavo Puerta, the Colombian on loan from Bayer Leverkusen. Longman's free kick. It's headed away by Thomas. Puerta with his first touch. Here's Hughes in an unfamiliar position out wide. They do well to retain possession. Puerta straight into the action. João Pedro. It's a good challenge by Van Eyck, but it's Hull who win it straight back. Maitland. Burstow is tackled and it's cleared away by Rodoni. Bissett is offside.
You could see he was offside as soon as the ball played, and this is what we talked about before, just not looking across the line. There's no need for him to be offside there. The game has got much more energy about it from both sides.
Turning into a titanic battle here at the CBS Arena. Well, what a chance it was for Victor Thorpe to give his side the lead. But Ivor Pandor, the hero for Hull City.
Yeah, great save from the goalkeeper. Thorpe be disappointed, but, you know, he hits a target, he keeps it low. It's not right in the corner and there's not loads of power in it. But the keeper gets down really well and gets up and makes it, collects it as well. So for Coventry, disappointed they haven't created more chances. That one cross in the box in the first half and then Bissett going through and goal, but offhand you can't really think of that much they've really tested with the goalkeeper with for all their possession and all their crossing.
Mason Clark does well again down that left-hand side, taking on Coyle, and he gets the better of Coyle. Still Mason Clark. Good cross, and there's the goal from Jack Rodoni. And Coventry do turn it around. They are now in front. It's Coventry City 2, Hull City 1. Jack in the box, Rodoni the goal scorer.
Great header from Rodoni, but this is absolutely sensational from Mason Clark on the left-hand side. Could have gone down on 2 or 3 occasions, but I love nothing more when a winger stays on their feet, rides the first challenge, could go down here, but stays up, keeps going. Endeavour running one-on-one with Colting. I'm going to take him on as well. Could have gone down this time, but gets in the box, chops the player. Wonderful delivery into dangerous area. And then the man's there on the spot to tap it on Rodoni. Great timing of the run, but this is sensational play from Mason Clark. Absolutely brilliant wing play. Great delivery, and Rodoni there with a header from 2 or 3 yards out to put Coventry rightfully in front. They've been the better team.
Finally, celebrations on that Coventry City bench for Frank Lampard and his coaching team. And you can feel the air of relief here inside the CBS Arena. And now a first change to be made by Coventry, and it is one that we anticipated. Ellis Sims comes on to replace Norman Bissett.
It's interesting with the way Coventry played today, and the way obviously Lampard had wants them, is ball out to the wide men, take your men on, delivery into the box as soon as you can. Someone like Sims you would think would absolutely thrive in this scenario.
Well, they did work together at Everton, Frank Lampard and Ellis Sims, and of course Sims was then sold by Frank Lampard. Here he is. Now Rodoni, high ball in, and Pandor does well under pressure. Maybe he'll feel that he has to work extra hard to impress Ellis Sims. Yeah,
it's interesting if a manager that has let you go, but listen, it's different levels. Everton is Premier League, fighting for their lives, scrapping for everything. Whereas he's played well at Coventry last season, and the reason why he's out of the team is not because Frank Lampard's there, it's because his form has dropped off this season. But can he get it back? And like I said, with the way the team are playing, with the delivery and the quality in the wide areas, it should suit him to the ground. Getting himself in the box, being a nuisance, being a presence in there.
Nicely worked from the back. Rodoni, who is flying at the minute, having scored that goal, does well to retain possession. Now Sakamoto. Well, they have conceded 2 goals in 6 of their last 7 championship games, Coventry City. Something for Hull City supporters to grab onto. It looks as if they're going to make what would be a final change momentarily for Hull City. Rodoni. Mason Clark. Nicely worked to Sakamoto. Now Van Eyck. And has it gone out of play? I think it has. And we will see that change for Hull. And Chris Beddier comes on to replace Ryan Longman, the forward who is on loan from Union Berlin.
Got the goal midweek. Fortunately, it just bounced off, and there was questions whether it came off his hand or not, but I'm sure Hull are going to be looking for more of the same. That was an equalising goal as well.
Here's Sheaf. She plays it forward. Rodoni on the charge. Now Mason Clark. Gives it back to Rodoni, who just tried to find the run of Mason Clark, and it was an important touch. And good defending in the end by Hull City, as Torp concedes the foul.
Yeah, it's good play again. Clark just steps inside, reverses the ball to Rodoni, and then continues his run. And you can see Rodoni just tries to put it back into a dangerous area. Important interception.
Regan Slater just getting the vital touch onto it. Burstow kept it in play well and wins the throw. Puerta. Burstow. Somehow they're still in possession, Hull City. An ambitious attempt at switching play. Has too much on it. And Coventry are going to bring on Jake Bidwell. And it's Jay De Silva who is replaced.
This is an interesting one. I think you can see the man just tactically just done this because Betty has come on and he's changed with Burstow. He's gone to the right wing position, and physically De Silva's been caught a couple of times, balls over his top from header. So Bidwell's a bit more of a physical presence, as being a centre back at times as well. So I wonder if that's with that in mind, just to be a little bit more tight.
Certainly has the experience, doesn't he, Jake Bidwell? Again, it's well worked from the back by Coventry as Mason Clark plays it to Bidwell. His cross is headed away. Here's Torp being urged to shoot by the supporters. And the cross from Van Ewijk, headed away by Coyle. And Malem is down, but not for long.
Bidwell caught him with a flailing arm there as he was going past him, but I think you have to get up in those situations.
Bidwell's cross blocked by Bedia. Time running out for Hull City. It would be 30 league games without a win, unless they're able to pull off a remarkable turnaround here.
It's some record, isn't it, for the wrong reasons.
And that is why they are currently rock bottom of the table. But Ruben Selles is positive. He can turn things around. It's in towards João Pedro. Here's Burstow. Now Jacob. Important header away by Bobby Thomas. Mason Clark in a tough position here under pressure, but in the end, Louis Coyle concedes the foul. As for Coventry, their victory at Millwall last Saturday is their only victory from their last 7 league games. They are desperate for wins as well.
They've been the better team today. They would be much more deserving of the win, but like I said, 1 goal in it separates these 2 teams, and that's not a big margin as we saw in the first half.
Sakamoto, challenged by McLaughlin. Sakamoto giving it back. Radoni, and Sims hits the post, and Pandor grateful to dive on the loose ball.
Again, Radoni, who I think has been brilliant throughout this whole game. This is a sensational cross, whips into a really good area again. This time the Sims gets a really good contact into the bottom corner. He's looking for that at the end of the back of the net. We talked about him and his presence in the middle and how this type of game would suit him.
Now Burstow. His cross is headed clear. Malin picks it up. Coyle. Dangerous delivery. Sakamoto with a cool header. Van Ewijk taking no chances though. Sims battling with McLaughlin. And Hughes has lost it to Ellis Sims. But he was a lone ranger. Puerta. Well, just like we saw in the first half, I'm sure Hull will be confident of creating something out of nothing. Here's Slater, low cross in, nobody was there from a Hull point of view. Hughes.
It's a dangerous cross. It's good positioning from Thorpe in the middle of the park just to clear their lines, but Hull have just started to get a little bit of momentum.
Frank Lampard will be hoping his side can just stay diligent defensively. You won't want them to give away a cheap chance. Burstow. And Van Ewijk got caught as he went in for the challenge.
Burstow just trods on his hand as he spins away from him here.
A couple more Coventry changes coming up. Eccles first to be introduced, and he will come on for Victor Torp, who will be relieved that his side are in front, having missed that penalty kick earlier.
Torp's done well in the middle of the park, putting a shift. Last few minutes, Eccles coming on just to see it through.
And Brandon Thomas Asante, who could have been a Hull City player, was close to making the move to Hull in the summer. In the end, joined Coventry. Burstow's headed down, and did that take a touch off the arm of João Pedro? The referee says no.
The whole crowd at the stadium thought it did.
Certainly looked like it. It's flicked on, and here's Malem. And it's allowed to run, and Burstow misses the target. Huge opportunity for Hull City, but Mason Burstow fluffs his lines.
What a chance this is. I thought when the ball goes over first, the Malem misses, controls it, but he puts it back into really good area, edge of box. He has to hit the target from there. And he's been, since he's come on, he's made a difference, but he just leans back, puts this over, and that was the chance, that was it.
That could be their final chance. Just needed to show a little bit more composure. Nervy times, though, for the Coventry City supporters here inside the CBS Arena. And you can feel that anxiety.
That comes when you're a team that's, you know, on that edge of being near the top and the bottom, and you've given goals away, and you've not been confident in winning games. The desperation to just see this one through then comes out in the fans, because they're so nervy anytime the ball goes forward.
Clear foul by McLaughlin on Thomas. I'm sure he'll sense those nerves, and I'm sure they get passed on to the players on the pitch as well. There are a lot of things to like about this Coventry City performance, but the scoreline means it's still edgy. Rodoni. Here's Thomas Asante. Now Eccles. Van Ewijk. Sakamoto wins the corner.
It's good play from Coventry again. I think in wide areas they've been excellent. Two full-backs and wingers linking up really well. Sakamoto just points where he wants it. Van Ewijk puts it in there, and it's a good block, but just getting him behind the lines of Hull.
Well, those nerves are going to be really frayed, because there is a minimum of 7 minutes to be played. Corner taken short. Sakamoto. Now Rodoni. It's worked back towards Sakamoto, who just about keeps it in play. And he wins the throw off of Malem. Pacing about. Frank Lampard, desperate to register his second victory as Coventry's boss. Sakamoto. Van Ewijk to Rodoni. Sakamoto. This nice play between the three of them. And it's worked to Rodoni. And Rodoni wins the corner, does he? No, it's still in play. Here's Van Ewijk. That will be a Hall free kick.
Coventry have done well there. They wasted a good minute of that 7 just trying to keep in that corner.
But when 7 minutes goes up on the board, that would have given the Hull players a boost. Sims will try and make a menace of himself, and he does, and Sims, it was heading goalwards, but Louis Coyle made a goal-saving block.
Yeah. Poor this starts actually from a really poor clearance from a goalkeeper, initially up in the air. Coventry put it back in. No one really deals with this. Pandora gets it all wrong, the header, and luckily Coyle has dropped in behind. Sims doesn't look really comfortable volleying this in, but it's on target at least.
For Coventry, a chance to keep the ball in the corner again, and they do take it short. All about keeping possession. And Sheaf does get the throw. Bit of frustration shown by Marvin Malem. Rodoni wins the free kick. And they're managing the game really well here, Coventry.
Yeah. They're just trying to wind that clock down. Throw-ins to feet, getting in positions, body between yourself and the ball, drawing fouls, and see the frustrations coming out in Hull, and they're giving away cheap free kicks. You just don't need to foul him there. You need to just... He's going nowhere. Try and win the ball back without giving that foul away.
Of course, it's taken short. Sheaf and Rodoni doing their best to keep the ball in the corner. And then Bidwell comes in to retain possession for Coventry. Rodoni. Well, in the end, with 3 Hull players around him, he loses possession, but it's recycled by Binks. And the referee has spotted a foul. Well, it's a Hull free kick, and a chance for them to get it forward towards João Pedro. Bedia. Yeah, he was caught.
Silly as well. It's silly giving a free kick away here from Sheaf. He should know better. Player of his experience in this league goes flying in. This gives him a chance to put it into the box.
Yeah, tackle from behind. It was always going to be given as a free kick. Pandora, the goalkeeper, takes it. Headed away well by Thomas. Burstow puts it in. Bidwell was there to clear. Needs to go long from a Hull point of view, surely. It's back at the feet of Pandora, who does pick out the head of Burstow. Puerta. Slater. Pandora launches it into the Coventry half. Bidwell is there. Coyle's header. Hooked forward by McLaughlin. Sakamoto clears it away.
You feel that there's going to be a huge sense of relief for the Coventry fans and Frank Lampard if they see this through for the next 30 seconds.
Cleared away by Thomas. Coyle sends it long. Burstow battling with Van Ewijk. It is a Hull throw. One final chance for Hull City. Now the Coventry City supporters won't give Burstow the ball back. And the full-time whistle has been blown. No time to take the throw, and Coventry City have their first home win since beating Luton on October the 26th. Jack Rodoni with the winning header after Hull City were given the lead through João Pedro. Efron Mason-Clark got Coventry level shortly after the half-time break. And then Victor Torp saw his penalty saved by Ivor Pandor. But Jack Rodoni, the hero for Frank Lampard's side. It's a second win as Coventry City boss for Frank Lampard. And they move further clear of the relegation places. And they are in touching distance of the playoffs. Full time, Coventry City 2, Hull City 1.